Okay, about these beheading things, listen people, to us civilized people, this chopping of a human's heads off by hand, sawing off people's heads seems pretty brutal. It seems uncivilized, it seems Neanderthal, it seems just unfathomable. But listen, we gotta be real, people. No civilization or ideology gained control of any significant section of society doing anything but cutting off heads. Our society was built on the heads of others, brutally chopping off heads, shooting people, stabbing them, disemboweling them. History has shown that's how an ideology can take root and take control, and that's the only way that it will continue to do so through probably the end of time. So, you know, I mean, we can chop people's heads off, disembowel them, and just basically scare the living crap out of everybody until they do what we want them to do, and develop a society like you and I live in today here in America. But make no mistake, it was built on the same premise. And we've gotten to this point where we call ourselves quote-unquote civilized. So now we're the ones that are afraid when we see these heinous crimes being committed upon other people. But if we are going to say we're too civilized to do those things, then sooner or later we will be overrun. Sharia law will take over because they're just going to scare us into submission because we become too afraid and too scared, and we're not used to seeing people's heads being cut off anymore because we've been isolated and insulated by a civilized society. But so if we sit back and do nothing, it's going to overtake us. Sharia law, or whoever it is has got the balls to walk out there and brashly and boldly start chopping heads off. The one who's willing to chop the most heads off and be the most scary person there is the one that's going to win. And we might sit here and call it evil and call it this, call it that, and call it the other thing, but if we're unwilling to step up and do the same to them, they're going to just do it to us, and then there's going to be so few of us left willing to do anything because they will have killed us all, and those that aren't killed will be scared into submission. They'll be too afraid to get their own head cut off to do anything about it, so then they'll live under whatever ideology is imposed upon them by sheer fear of force of fear. Anyway, get real, people. You can sit around and watch people chop each other's heads off, or you can see if you're man enough to step up and start chopping their heads off. I don't know. It's kind of complex, but it is what it is. Talk to you later.